Welcome back to the channel. Let's talk about the automation rules for beginners, for everyone that wants to actually automate some manual work and to be more efficient and to basically understand how the automation rules work. So first of all, when it comes to the automation rules, they will always start with a trigger. So basically a trigger is an action, something like what is triggering the automation itself. So for example, the most popular ones, if we go here, are for example, work item created, work item commented, field value changed, and so more. So you're going to have this recommended option. Then there's some other options that are regarding the work item triggers. For example, work logged. Also, you have work item moved. You also have work item comment edited, service limit breach. Then you have for DevOps. You also have for Compass related, for Loom related. Also, some of the integrations that you can actually be using with the incoming webhook that are coming from the different systems. This one that is actually being scheduled, for example, a scheduled, let's say, trigger, and that will create you some subtasks on Friday on your project in order, for those subtasks to be completed, for example. So you don't have to manually go over and change everything. So there is a lot of triggers in here. And today, let us use the scheduled. When we actually click on the scheduled, we have some basic stuff, and then we also have the advanced stuff. Advanced is definitely advanced because you need to understand what is this cron expression. I never used it before, so I'm not gonna talking about that since I didn't use it before. It wasn't even the need. So there is also the date and time. So where we're actually defining what is the start date of this trigger. So when it begins, so does it begin today at specific time? So when it's beginning, and what is also the end date? When is going to be over? You can say it's going to be ending. You also have the occurrence, which is actually showing now rule is run every 1 week, and you can basically see the runs that are going to happen. And you can say you want this actually to be happening, let's say at 5:30 p.m. when everyone is basically like going home and they don't have any work. You can select for it to be like that. For the start date, you can say something like, hey, I want to start this at 9 a.m. So this is going to be, let's say, tomorrow, and we're going to say it never ends. There is also an option to add a condition for this, so you can actually add the condition right away, but we're not going to be doing this. We're going to be clicking on next. Now, we have some components in here. We have some required components and we have some optional components. When it comes to the required components, a very simple automation rule needs to exist of at least of a trigger and action. Now, depending on the use case that you're actually having, these automation rules can actually scale. They can become really complex, especially with using the advanced components and the branches themselves, and also using the conditions. So in the most cases, you're going to be using the trigger, you're going to be using the condition, and you're also going to be using the action. So let's put this to the test. So I have a scheduled trigger in here, and I'm going to click here. I'm going to go here, and it's going to say if. So the condition is if. So this means this is going to be scheduled. So the trigger for the automation is going to be when something is scheduled, if a certain condition matches, then there's going to be a certain action that will execute based on the previous condition. So we have all of these components in here. So we have user conditions, we have JQL conditions, we have if-else statement, a bit advanced ones that are smart values condition, and so on. So what we actually have in here is, for example, what we want to have is user condition. And now what we can define within a user is we have like assignee, approvers, authorized viewers, user picker. So we definitely have in here. So we can actually say, hey, if the specific assignee, so there is check to perform, and there is a check to perform saying like is not, isn't, is in the group, is not in the group, is in the role, or not in the role itself. So we can actually say the assignee is in the role, and we can say administrators, so we can define them as well. If we want, we can add additional criteria, but we're not gonna be doing that. So within your automation rules, you have an option for maximum of 65 components that you can add within your automation rules. So that's the thing. You cannot go above that because that is the limit itself. All right, so we have a trigger. We also have the condition as well, and we also need to define an action. So what is going to happen now? There are a lot of actions in here. So for example, actions for notifications, for sending an email, for transitioning the item. We also have the option to edit the work item. And when we edit the work item, there could be something saying, hey, this is something what happens. So for example, we can choose which fields we want to change in here. So what is it going to happen in here? So everyone that is within the administrator's role, basically there's going to be change in the summary or something like that of the work items. But this is not exactly what we want to do. So we're going to keep this simple. You're going to create a work item. And this is going to be in the same space, meaning that basically this is going to be in this specific project right here. We can change this to be different spaces, but we're going to keep it as it is. So now we can actually look what is going to be the issue type. I'm going to say that this is basically going to be a task itself. So we have the options to select some of the fields, for example. So let's say we can also go for company, change reason, category. All right, let's see here. No, we don't have for the comments, which is okay, but we have the other ones. So most of these are actually the custom fields from here. So this is this is what you're seeing, at least showing of 50 or 214. So it doesn't clutter the already existing ones. So for example, you can say, hey, you can go with fixed versions, and now what's going to happen in here, there's going to be fixed versions being added in here. So you can say something like version 1, for example, and I can say something like for the summary, there's also this option, as you can see, it's being required in here. So what is it going to happen is when we define a summary, it's always going to be there. The thing is, you can distinguish them between based on the work item keys, because work item keys are always gonna be different, and this is something that is generated by Atlassian at the random selection. Now, to make this more interesting, what we can actually do in here is we can add some smart values in here. So we're not going to be complicating this too much because there is a lot of stuff in here and you can get confused really fast. So we actually want to be focused on the issue in here. So what we have when we actually type in issue is, I'm going to say, all right, let's go with issue.key. So you're going to copy that and you're going to paste it. And so that is how the smart values are being defined, with 2 open brackets and 2 closed brackets in here. And I'm going to say this has been created. And I can say scheduled issue creation. And when I'm actually done, so this is how my automation rule is going to look like. Now, what I can actually do in here is when you click on this drop down right here, there is an option that says to validate the rule. All right. So it's saying there are warnings, and it's saying, well, the following needs to be produced earlier rule by tran or with a for each branch for this component to work is basically on the work item itself. Okay, that is interesting. All right, and now what actually happens? Let's say test rule. Who can edit this rule? I would say that basically, if you have admins right in there, you can define that basically all Jira admins and all admins in this space can actually do this, which is something to be left on, because Jira admins are going to be there to respect the automation rules, and they're not going to be removing anything. All right, so when you actually turn on this rule, and it's saying some of your selected components may not be compatible with the others. So, and it's saying that basically one of the following needs to be produced earlier in the rule by the trigger, which is basically the work item itself. All right, so that's actually pretty interesting. So we have this, right? And everything is actually in there. And what we can do is we can actually run this rule. So I went for 3 dots, I clicked on run rule. To check if everything was actually okay, you have this option of audit log. Now I'm having some errors. All right. scheduled rule not running JQL query. Creating a work item does not put the work item into the context. You have to branch on the update itself. All right, so to make this more easier, we're gonna go and we're gonna say when this was actually created. Let's actually update this so you're gonna see how this is actually gonna work. All right, so first the trigger is when it's actually being created. So I'm gonna go to the people section first, and now I'm gonna say I'm gonna add myself in here as an administrator. That's one thing. And the other thing that I'm going to do is I'm gonna go with story, and I'm going to say created task. Created story, actually. Let me click on create. That's it. Let's go back to our automation rule in here. And we have our test rule, audit logs, and we have the test of success. There's the create of a new item that we actually can definitely see. And when we go within, it's going to say this one has actually been created. And that is how the automation rules work on the base level. So like I said, they can get more complex, like really, really complex, but they can solve a lot of problems in there. So yeah. Okay, that's it for today's video. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. See you all in the new one. Bye.